15, verse 7. Let's start with this. The title of the class is Do the Work. Because if you ain't putting the work in this truth, well, you could believe all you want, but you got nothing to prove that you believe. All right?
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded.
Who can tell me what that scripture is talking about? Nobody can explain the scripture? Read it again for me.
Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded.
Saying that when you do the work, you'll be rewarded with the kingdom of heaven. So put off the weak nature and do the actual work.
Which work is that? What's that talking about? Go to work, get a 9 to 5?
No, it's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Okay. So be ye strong and do the work. Because this truth is all about putting forth work. It's not just come here every Saturday, sit down, put on your favorite hour. We all got purple on. Should be your favorite. Put your favorite garment of the week, you know. Mighty Israelite. You know what I mean? And then you go about and be nigga coon in the world during the weekday. Among the work you have to do, part of it is change your name. Take a stand. Let people know that you are Israel. All right? So Philippians 2 and 14.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 14. Do all things without murmuring and disputings.
So this is one of the big issues we have in the truth, where many people are doing the work, but they murmur while they're doing it. You know, like back in the days, your mom tell you to go wash the dishes, and then you say you don't want to, and then they slap you in the back of your head. Then you start walking towards to do the dishes, but you grumbling. What you saying, nothing? The whole time you're doing the dishes, you know what I'm saying? You're murmuring. That's not a good trait to have. Do all things without murmuring. Because why? You're doing it for the Most High God. That's the one thing we keep forgetting. Because somebody come and give you an order to do something, you think you talk. When you're murmuring, you think you're murmuring back to that person, but really you hating the Lord. Because God is not going to tell you, come here and say, hey, keep the Sabbath. He already put it in the book, and somebody got to keep reminding you. Hey, go wash the dishes. Oh, do this, do that for the body. Most High's not going to come down and do that, but he put people in place to tell you those things. And because you're looking at the world in a carnal way, you look at the people that's telling you to do what they're asking you to do, and then you murmur, not realizing you're murmuring against the Most High God. So keep that in mind. Read it again.
Do all things without murmuring and disputings.
Do all things without murmuring and disputing. If somebody's not asking you to sin, do it. If it's something that's needed for the body, do it. As long as it doesn't go against the law. You follow? You messing up and then you giving counsel, and it's according to scripture. Don't grudge, don't murmur against the counsel, just do it. If you can't prove there's sins, then if you're murmuring, you're in sin. Let's go to Matthew chapter 9, verse 37.
The book of Matthew, chapter 9 and verse. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.
So the one problem we have is that we have few laborers. There's not too many people that want to step up and do the work. So what must we do? Let's read.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. So
right now, if there's a lot of struggles into doing the work, we got to pray the Most High that he send more laborers. Because at the end of the day, 1/3 of Israel will be saved. So it's either you get on board or you get replaced. It's very simple. At the end of the day, will the work be done?
Yes, sir.
Because 1/3 is going to come in. So it's either you step up to the plate or you go back in, what they call that? The resting area. I lost the term. In the dugout. There you go.
dugout.
Go back with the dead. But if you want to be on the plate, you better bring forth work. Don't strike out. Matthew 20, verse 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 20 and verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. Again.
So, hold on. So, the laborers are the prophets, okay? The vineyard is the house of Israel. Let's go to Isaiah 5 and 7. Prove that real quick and come back. Isaiah 5 verse 7.
The book of Isaiah chapter 5 verse 7. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel.
You hear that? The vineyard of the Lord is the house of Israel. So the laborers are the what? The prophets, who's going to go out and teach the word and bring the people in. We'll go back to Matthew 20.
Again, he went out about the 6th and 9th hour and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and he says unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? They say unto him, Because no man has hired us. He saith unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that ye shall receive.
So, notice something. The Most High is doing what? Hiring workers. So, we all got called at different period of times, right? Now, why were we called? According to everything we just read.
To do the work.
To do the work, because even at the 11th hour, he found some sitting idle. So now, if you're called to come here, should you be idle in the body?
No, sir. No, sir.
Because if think about it literally, a vineyard. That's where you do what? You plant what kind of fruits? Grapes, right? So if you have a vineyard, you see all those furrows? You see all those cornrows? And they have to be supported because they're not like regular trees that can just stand up. They're more like vines. They grow thick, but they still have to be attached to something. You got to support them. You understand? So that's a lot of work. You got to clean the grass, make sure there's the furrow, and then you got to do what? Water it. I mean, nowadays you got to put pesticides. Otherwise, you're going to lose most of your crops. So does it look like a lot of work or a little bit of work?
A lot of work.
A lot of work, right? So if you come and you sit idle, what's going to happen? You're going to lose all the crop. So it's the same way you come in the body. Although we are a small body, don't think there's not a lot of work to be done. Who can explain that statement? We're a small body, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
There's a lot of work in the sense that here, some people may still have things that they need to battle, so they need counsel from the leadership and help them grow in wherever they need to go as become part of the body.
You're halfway there. We have a lot of work to do within ourselves because we are sick people. And we gotta prep the foundation for those that are coming in. Because if we're not right, Most High ain't gonna send nobody. We're not gonna grow. Because what's the point of sending people here that's gonna be looking at us and learning the same bad behaviors that we have cultivated? So there's a lot of work to be done, which means we gotta get ourselves right in order for us to grow. When we are right, then the Most High gonna send more people. Because as more people come in, we have to set order, right? We have to have people over specific office to handle the business. So if those offices are not functioning right, will it ever grow?
No, sir. Sir.
Like the statement said, no child left behind. We want to be able, like, if we're going to mention the kitchen, we want to be able to come to a level where we could give everybody a sandwich. So nobody fights over the last piece of meat. Or some lettuce. You follow? So which means there's a lot of work that needs to be done in that area. The film department. You know, if we're going to grow, we need that camera to be operating right. And guess what? One day we might need a better camera. You see what I'm saying? We might need better equipment. So if you didn't master the first camera, if we get something, same name brand, but a lot more sophisticated, how you gonna know to operate it? We can't be slothful in our business. In order for us to grow, we have to take each and every single aspect of this truth very, very seriously, down to the minute details. Even those guys who's cleaning the table, you gotta take it very seriously. You gotta follow instruction. It's something to you is like very simple. Oh, just wipe the glass. Okay, but guess what? The glass got these little legs under them. So if you just keep rubbing and pushing them, then they come off. And then when they come off, they leave a streak of how do you call that? Glue.
Smudge on them.
So you need to get some glue gun, remove them, and then find some glue and re-put those again. This is what we're talking about to the minute detail. That's to the level we gotta take this truth. Because to some people, that's nothing. But guess what? If you can do good in something as small as this, then we can trust you with bigger things. But if you're messing up with smaller things, Most High ain't gonna give you bigger. We gotta become perfect in everything that we do. The scripture said, "Be ye perfect as my Father is." So that's what we gotta strive for. All right. So Most High is calling many people to go to the vineyard to work. All right, and when you get there, there's no idle time. Go to Micah 4:10.
The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion.
You see that? Be in pain and labor to bring forth. Not sit back and relax and be idle. Be in pain. Your brain should be always working towards the truth. From the time you walk in this place, from just being in this place, you should know what's needed, what's not needed. And when you see, if you feel like something is needed, then bring it up to somebody. Hey, you know what? I was just thinking, they're looking at the wall. I think it might look good if we do this, and that. I'm not saying something wrong with the wall. I'm giving you an example, like something minute. Like we have the bookshelf outside. You know what? Maybe we should get a better one. You know what I mean? I was on Craigslist and I saw something that would look a lot nicer that have actually doors because there's scissors there. The kids might take the scissors and hurt themselves. You know what I mean? There's pen that could poke each other. So something with a lock would be more feasible so that way we know that not every kid is going to run in there. You know what I mean? That's thinking outside the box. So if your mind is occupied on the Most High's business, you see things like this and you already think 2 steps ahead. You follow? So, of course, before everything is done, how do I say, let counsel go before every enterprise, so you bring up what you thought was needed and then, we'll discuss it. And if it's a good idea, like something like a bookshelf with a closed door, it's not a bad idea. But if we're not thinking outside the box, it's just, whatever, business as usual. I'm here, I'm gone, I'm here, I'm gone. So we gotta start caring for this little place we have in order for the Most High to bless us with something bigger. Because we do want to grow, right?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't you like for the morning class to finally rejoin us again?
Yes, sir.
You follow? We want to be one big family, right? And if, of course, we start doing a 12 o'clock class, it's got to be like brand new people we never met. And as time goes by, we want to be on a level where we get reunited again. You understand? But if we cannot see those little things that need to be done, then that means our mind is not on the body. Exactly what they tell you to do. Like, yeah, do those things, but always think outside the box. Bring forth ideas. That means that shows your mind is always on the business.
Meaning, don't just be a yes man, is what you were saying.
No, yes man in a sense where if we give you an order, yes, you have to do it. You see what I'm saying? But if you have an idea where something can be done better, don't be scared to bring it forth. You get what I'm saying? Like, we have a barber. Hey, maybe we need better lighting. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let me look up some lighting. Hey, I think this would work, I don't have the money, but hey, officer, I was thinking, maybe we should get this light instead of that. You know what I'm saying? That's always don't just settle. You know they say if it ain't broken, don't fix it. But guess what? It doesn't have to be broken to fix it. You could make it better. Did your grandparents' car work fine? Back in the 50s or the 60s? It got them to point A, from point A to point B, right? So, should cars have stayed the way they were back then? Don't you like your car better that you could push a button and the window goes down?
Yes, sir.
Whoever had a car with manual, what happened when you was on the highway, all windows down, and you're at the Jetta, at the sunroof, but I had to crank it up, so all windows down, you're on the highway, out of the blue, start pouring. You're like, damn. You got 4 doors, you're in the car by yourself. You got to pull over, get wet. You follow? So don't you like cars with automatic windows better? You follow? So the cars from the 60s, some people still have them today. So they work, but you always want it to become better. So that's where your mind got to be. How do I make this better? Don't just look at it, okay, it's cool. I want to have bigger TV screens. Don't you? Then I see you in the back like, I can't see the hell with it. You follow? So, Micah 4 and 10. Read it again.
The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail.
So, it says, O daughter of Zion. So does that mean it's talking to the women specifically? Or the men are included? It's a trick question, and I need precepts to prove your point. Come on, prophets. It says daughter, man. That means the men don't have to do nothing. Okay, before we pull the precept, is he just talking to the women? No. So how can you prove that him calling the daughters of Zion, how you say? That refers to everybody in Israel. I give you guys a hint. Oh, God, he got it. Precept master got it. Come on, strong and wrong, man.
Now I was gonna say Revelation 12 and 1 with the woman is being Israel.
Good, come on.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 2. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband.
So if we espouse that, most always mostly refer us as a female, because while we are espoused to one husband, Johanna's like, yeah, I had it. I just was scared. Call me the scared soldier. So when it says, or daughter of Zion, it's not talking about just the women, because some brothers like, oh yeah, go to work, baby. I'm gonna stay back. Nah, let's talk about Israel. All right. So let's go to off real quick. Oh yeah, good.
That I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ.
So most I always refer to Israel as a woman or daughters or whatnot. All right. Let's go to Philippians 2:25.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 25.
Hold on. Start at 19. Let's get the full story.
Verse 19. But I trust in the Lord Jesus to send Timotheus shortly unto you, that I also may be of good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state.
So Paul was showing that Timotheus is a good brother in this truth. Like he wanted to send him to the church in Philippi, and so he could, know the estates of the church. All right? Because Timothy would care the same way Paul would care for the church. He trusts that man. Let's see why. Read.
For all seek their own, not things which are Jesus Christ. But ye know the proof of him.
So he said all men seek their own thing. But you guys know of Timotheus. Read.
But ye know the proof of him, that as a son with the Father, he hath served with me in the gospel.
So his work speak for himself. Everybody knew who that dude was. That's how much work he was putting in the truth. Read.
Him therefore I hope to send presently, so soon as I shall see how it will go with me.
So that's the person Paul would want to go. Who would want to send a representative to another state that's a lazy brother? that have no work. Does that make sense? No. So you want to send people that's about this business. That you know, that's like sending up a diplomat in a different country. And all he does is go to the bar and get drunk. Like, come on. That dude is not representing you the right way. So if you're sending a diplomat on your behalf, it's going to be somebody that's doing the work. Read.
But I trust in the Lord that I also myself shall come shortly. Yet I supposed it necessary to send to you Epaphroditus, my brother and companion in labor and fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants.
So that's another brother, Epaphroditus, he want to send as well, who's a good brother. Read.
For he longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick.
Think about this. He was, I said, for he longed after you all. He was worrying about the church that found out that he was sick. You see the mind frame the brother had? He didn't want the church to be troubled at the fact that he was sick. So even though he's sick, somebody was supposed to be caring for him, but he was caring more for the church. That's a whole different set of attitude to have towards the church. Read.
For indeed he was sick nigh unto death.
So the brother was sick nigh unto death. He almost died. Read.
But God had mercy on him, and not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow.
So Most High know that Paul needed that brother, so he spared not only the brother's life, but at the same time spared Paul's life, because sometimes like a brother fall out of the truth, it's like, damn man, that was a good brother, you know what I'm saying? He was my right-hand man. Why did he fall out? I needed that brother, you know what I mean? Because why? You know he labored hard. So you don't want to see people die. You don't want to see people fall. Especially after you establish a bond with the brother and you see the kind of work he can do. So people, when they fall, you're very disappointed. If they were to pass in the truth, yes, their pain have diminished, but guess what? You're going to sorrow because you lost, your brother left. So Most High saved his life due to the fact that he used to put in work. Read.
I sent him therefore the more carefully, that when ye see him again ye may rejoice, and that I may be the less sorrowful. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness, and hold such in reputation.
So those that are putting in work, the scripture asks us to put them in reputation, because why? They're about the Father's business. They want to see the nation grow. So we got to reverence people that's putting work in this truth. Read.
Because for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death.
So he wasn't nigh unto death because of the 9 to 5 and the overtime that he was putting at his job. Some of us care more about the work that we do in the world. We'll do all kind of overtime. But ask you to do one thing for the truth? Nah, I don't have the time. I'm tired. I just went to sleep. A whole bunch of excuses. But your boss call you? Oh yeah, no problem, boss. I work 4 shifts. I'm going to stay up all day. Give me some Adderall. And you work for the system, but for the truth, always tired, always sick, never have the time. But for your job, no matter the hours, you always have the time. So think twice. Read 30 again.
Because for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life, to supply your lack of service toward me.
So that's what he was doing, carrying your dead weight. The brother was nigh to death because why? Many brothers or sisters were not doing what they were supposed to be doing. So he had to carry all the weight on himself. It's the same thing with Moses. He had so much in his plate. What was the counsel they gave him? Pick 70 brothers that you trust, that you know that's going to do good work, and then delegate certain tasks to them. And the heavier matter, let them bring it to you. That's what you're supposed to set up. So which means when you are given an office, you got to execute it to the utmost. And you always got to care for the body. Because at the end, Most High is going to reward you. But again, many of us see this as a man-made thing. Like another Christian church is not. Your works will get rewarded if you believe. Let's go to 2 Timothy 4 and 5.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 5. But watch thou in all things, and endure afflictions, do the work of an
You
evangelist.
see that? Do the work of an evangelist. We have to go out there and teach our people, bring them in, and care for them. Because after, if somebody's a crazy person that you met in the street and you decided to, help the person, you bring him into your house. After that, the person is okay. Everything is done. No, there's a lot of more things you have to do. If the person was a schizophrenic, you gotta take him to the doctor. You gotta get medicine. You follow? You gotta counsel him, make sure he's always in the right mind. Make sure you gotta stay on top of him to make sure he always take his medicine. After you come here, we found you in the street. Guess what? You were sick. And just because you walk through this door, that doesn't mean you are healed. The only thing that happened is that you acknowledge that you're sick and you need to be in the hospital. So now that you're in the hospital, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. You follow? If you're a crackhead high on heroin, we gotta tie you in the bed. You follow? We gotta go through you transforming, looking like a zombie, vomiting, screaming, yelling, and we gotta inject you with
Methadone.
what is it called?
Methadone.
Methadone.
My heroin addicts, methadone.
Okay. Just checking. So you gotta inject you with medicine, methadone to help you out. You're gonna throw up like I saw it in the movie. Was it Ray Charles? When he was going off of that thing, it was a very bad night, and he decided to do it cold. He didn't want nothing, but it was a horrible night. It's the worst thing. So, not some of us, all of us came here sick. So which means once we in here, we're still sick. And based on the level of sickness we had, some of us, we're going to be sick till Christ return. In a sense of sickness, if you have AIDS, is there a cure right now for AIDS? No. Some demons we have, we're going to carry them for the rest of our lives. But guess what? You're in the right place. You just got to keep taking your medicine. That's why some weeks, you see some people act up in a way hold up, that's not you. Because why? You did not take your medicine. You come to find out they didn't talk to nobody, they didn't read the Bible, they didn't watch a video, they was just in their feelings. Let alone, let's say, work did not go well, the boss was writing them, so they crash. That's what happened to people when they don't take their medicine. They crash. You see a dude that was 15 years doing good, and then one day he's in the street waving a baton trying to hit people. What happened? Oh, he forgot to take his meds. So we must take our medicine daily, which is what? Stay in this Bible. You're not feeling too good. You feel like the demon is jumping on you. Call a brother, call a sister. Talk to somebody. Reach out and talk to somebody. All right? Read it fully, verse 5.
Yes, sir. The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
Make full proof, ready to endure affliction. Because being in this truth, you better be ready. It's not going to be peaches and cream. So be ready to endure and do the work. Because while doing the work, you're going to meet opposition.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.